All right, you two are so soft. San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Jon and Jim with you. For our veterans today who are not soft, thank you for your service. For those that have served this country, we do thank you on this Veterans Day, especially in America's finest city with over 100,000 active military members. So we start by thanking our veterans, not thanking you two. Here's the thing. You should not be calling me out. Okay? You should not be calling me out for working a show, driving to Snapdragon, calling a game.
Let me just ask you this. If the roles were reversed.
Yes, I would call you out, dude.
Okay.
But here's the thing. The roles aren't reversed.
No, I'm just asking. If the roles were reversed, you do the exact same thing. So my point is proven.
We have Rams Dolphins tonight at 5:15. We have a great giveaway this week. So let me just read this, Jim, because you're aware of it. Let me just read this for our listeners.
This is a big-time giveaway.
Big-time giveaway. Big-time giveaway. If you're looking for some holiday sparkle, we have a 1.5 carat lab-grown diamond. Don't look at me like that. This is an amazing giveaway.
Amazing.
We have a 1.5 carat lab-grown diamond to give away to a listener, courtesy of one of our Warrior Foundation Freedom Station sponsors, Unicorn Jewelry and Watch Boutique. To qualify, all you have to do is this. Open the iHeart app, click on the talkback mic. Now, you got to click on San Diego Sports 760, right?
Correct.
So open the app, open San Diego Sports 760, click on the talkback mic. Tell us why you want to win. We're going to pick a daily qualifier during the midday matchup, Big Rich, TD, and Flesh, and right here on Jon and Jim. That's 3 chances to qualify each day this week. Then listen, a week from today, we'll select a winner during Jon and Jim for this beautiful lab-grown diamond that would make a perfect center stone on an engagement ring, necklace, or bracelet. Again, courtesy of Unicorn Jewelry and Watch Boutique. So open the app, search for San Diego Sports 760, hit the talkback mic. Why should you win? And you can qualify to win right now during Jon and Jim.
If I was listening to the radio maybe like a year and a half ago, and I heard that this was a prize that was be given away, I would be all over this.
You weren't even engaged to Aaron.
I know, that's what I mean. Like if I was not engaged and I didn't propose to Aaron and I needed like a diamond ring or in this case, it's a lab grown diamond, pretty much the same thing. 1.5 carats, dude, I'd be all over this. So this is an amazing giveaway. It's just a diamond. It's not a ring. It's not a necklace. It's a diamond.
Oh, just a diamond.
It's a diamond. We're giving away a diamond.
Just a 1.5 carat diamond.
Yeah, 1.5 carat lab grown diamond. No big deal. How you doing?
All right, open the app, search for San Diego Sports 760, click on the red microphone icon, tell us why you should win. Someone is qualifying today. Are we going to notify them if they qualify today, or how's that work?
Well, here's the thing. No, because the grand prize winner will be announced on Monday of next week.
Okay, but you need to submit your talkbacks for a chance to win.
Correct.
All right, so you have a chance to win during Jon and Jim. Each day this week, we'll announce the winner on Monday right here on Jon and Jim. Kyle Glazer will join us coming up at 4 p.m. All eyes are on Roki Sasaki. If you're not familiar with the name, it's become very topical over the last 48 hours. It's reported that the #1 pitching prospect in the world will be posted by his club in Japan. He's coming to the major leagues. We've seen an influx, obviously, over the last 25 years, notably over the last 10 years, Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, now Roki Sasaki, who's 23 years of age. He is definitively the top pitching prospect in the world. His numbers back it up in Japan. And the Padres, like many of other teams, will be suitors. LA, of course. San Diego, absolutely. We spent some time on this last night on the wrap-up show, and you made a really good point. If you're AJ Preller and you've got these payroll constraints and you're coming off the disappointment of the postseason, how much of your effort are you putting into this offseason in securing Roki Sasaki, 23 years of age, throws 100 miles per hour, has posted a 2 career ERA professionally in Japan?
I'm putting a lot of my effort into this offseason. So it was reported at the end of last week, or was that over the weekend, actually?
It was either Friday or Saturday.
Yeah, that Roki Sasaki is expected to be posted. It's not official yet, but he is expected to be posted. And Jeff Passan came out with a big article on him, and Mark Feinsand came out with an article about him as well. We know how they're linked, Padres and Sasaki, with AJ Preller, Yu Darvish. He was wearing Padres gear, I believe, at Peoria or a training facility. I forget exactly where, but and AJ mentioned him during Peter Seidler's memorial service at Petco Park last year at about this time as well. He is, if you just look him up, he has to be considered one of the top free agents on the market right now. The guy is a freaking stud. He's 23 years old. Throws 102. His numbers in Japan are ridiculous. He won a WBC with Japan last year with Ohtani and Darvish and Yamamoto. He's great. He's fantastic. But what makes it so enticing isn't the fact that he has electric stuff and he's 23 years old. It's that when he gets posted, you're not going to have to spend like $300 million on this guy.
Mm-hmm.
What you're going to need to do more than anything is convince him to come to San Diego. That might be harder than the money, because money, you could just up the money and be like, hey, we're giving you $100 million more than the other
most
team.
money wins out.
Right. But this is like a courting. You have to court this guy and convince him to choose you. It happened in, I think, 2016 with Ohtani. Preller used everything in his tank to try to get Ohtani to come here and convince him to come here. But he chose Anaheim primarily probably because of the DH, and it didn't work. He didn't have the opportunity to outbid other teams. Same thing is here. Same thing's happening here. The pool money, international pool money, is pretty much the same around the board, at least the starting on January 15th. So when he gets posted, hopefully on or after January 15th, the money's not going to be the biggest issue. It's about courting him and having him choose you to come play in San Diego.
Yeah, the issue is they've been like in the ballroom, but they've never been the ball of the dance in some of these high level pursuits. I'm talking about Shohei Ohtani. I think the DH was the primary reason. This is before the universal DH.
Yeah.
Then there's someone like Isaiah Suzuki, where the Padres have interest, they don't land. Now, they've landed some high-profile players from overseas. Ha-Seong Kim was a high-profile player, but not in the camp of, at the time, say, Suzuki or Shohei Ohtani, or certainly not Roki Sasaki. The good news is they don't have a lot of money, and he can't get a lot of money. The bad news is the Padres are among a series of teams, and we'll hear from Jensen Lewis, who pitched a long time in the major leagues, in a moment, from MLB Network Radio. And we'll have Kyle Glaser join us at 4 p.m. as well to talk about the Padres as a potential suitor. But the problem is there's going to be 8, 10, 12, 14 motivated teams. That doesn't play out in free agency. Like when Manny Machado is a free agent as a 26-year-old, he doesn't get 14 bids. Mm-hmm. There's 2 or 3 teams. Same thing with Juan Soto. He's the best free agent maybe for a lifetime. There's going to be 4 serious bidders potentially on Juan Soto. Can we hear from Jensen? Hey, Brent, can we hear from Jensen Lewis, MLB Network Radio, earlier today about, again, this youngster, Roki Sasaki?
There will be, I think, some significant leverage from other Japanese-born players, most notably Yu Darvish in San Diego. As we well know, Jenny, that is a fabulous place to pitch, Petco Park. Very spacious, very enjoyable for many arms that have been able to go there and experience that. Not taking anything away from Chavez Ravine at night, because it is a little bit more difficult for hitters to lift the ball and have it travel. But when you're thinking about different Japanese-born players that will have an opportunity to get in front of Sasaki, if they haven't already, Yu Darvish commands about as much respect as any Japanese-born player in the modern era. So San Diego will be in there.
Yeah, I think the thing with Yu Darvish, remember when Seiya Suzuki you asked him about San Diego and Chicago, and he's like, yeah, Chicago's better.
Chicago.
You'll love Chicago's way better. City. I am hoping that's not the case here. Like, I'm hoping Yu Darvish, who has been a mentor to Roki Sasaki, really tries to pull some weight here and really help get him to come to San Diego. The thing about, international players being posted, and like you said, it's not just 1 or 2 teams that are in on him. It's like 7, 8, 9, 10 potentially.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like, I don't envision him going to the now Sacramento A's, but the Sacramento A's could, theoretically go get Roki Sasaki,
because it equalizes the money.
Because the
Everyone's
money
got the
is
money.
the money's the same for most all teams starting January 15th.
Here's my pitch if I'm AJ Preller, because of course LA is going to be considered either the front runner or a front runner. There's a million reasons as to why. They've had success with Japanese-born players. They're a massive media market. We're in the West.
They have two of his teammates.
Ohtani and Yamamoto
Yeah.
right now. But with that being said, the Dodgers don't need Roki Sasaki to win. They just won. He's also not going to play the largest role among those Japanese stars. In San Diego, I can sell it like you are the missing piece. You, Roki Sasaki, are the missing piece. We got close a year ago. We got close in 2022. You solidify our rotation, and you put us in a position to get over the top. There's been some reports over the weekend as well. He may prefer a smaller market. He may prefer lifestyle and the importance of it over big city. And that's going to play out in the weeks ahead. But for me, AJ Preller's messaging should be pretty clear here. He's coveted, obviously, the Pacific Rim before as a scout. He's learned Japanese. He's had a team that can compete at a high level. Yu Darvish is here. They're without Joe Musgrove in the short term. They need him to solidify this rotation. Like, you can make a compelling argument in San Diego. I don't know if it's compelling enough to woo Roki Sasaki, but I know this. Between now and whenever he's posted, and once he is posted, the Padres will be a part of these articles day in and day out until this deal gets done. I don't know if they land him. I guarantee the Padres are among the final 2, 3, 4 suitors for Roki Sasaki. I'd be shocked if they weren't.
Doesn't it feel like this is the jolt that if they got him, that they kind of need this offseason?
Yes.
And
yes.
it's not going to cost you a ton. It will cost you basically all of your international pool money, which I'm okay with. I don't care. It's not my money. But it also it's the player that I'm not going to say is the missing piece, but the player that I feel like you need to at least help you try to get over that hump. Because with the loss of Joe next year, your window is not getting bigger; it's getting smaller. Now there's many, things that go into this, like the amount of days that he rests before his start, 6 days. He would be a rookie. He's never pitched in the big leagues before, obviously, but like he's 23 years old. But to have him here for longer than just next year, and here for I think 6 years.
Yeah, be under control for 6 years.
That's massive, especially with the question marks going into the 2026 season in that rotation. I just think that this has to be priority number one for AJ Preller, and it probably is. I don't know what their number one priority is or who the number one priority is, but to me, it feels like whenever Roki Sasaki is posted, it's all hands on deck to try to get him to come to San Diego.
I guess the only issue, we could discuss it on the other side, is if you put the eggs in that basket and you don't land them. Like if Lucy pulls the football away again.
Well, you're not like as far as resources go, like money wise, it's just like your time.
True.
And AJ Preller is always awake.
True. That is true. I guess if you're looking to solidify your rotation and you don't land him, there's going to be other options because there always are. But that's a big difference between a potential frontline guy and going out and finding someone on the scrap heap for your number 4 or number 5 spot in your rotation.
And
the difference between Sasaki and whomever else is going to be available to you in free agency or via trade is going to be pretty significant. So if like you go down that path, and I'm all for it from a fan perspective, we'll talk about it on the other side. Like I'm all for getting all excited, dipping my toes in on Sasaki, but what if you don't land him? And again, you finish in second to a team like the LA Dodgers.
I'm already all in, so I know that I'll be disappointed once he chooses the Dodgers.
Exactly. All right, more on that on the other side. We're going to catch up with Kyle Glazer at 4 p.m. We have Aztec basketball tickets to give away for tomorrow night as well. We'll do that later this hour. Just underway on this Veterans Day, Jon and Jim. Make sure to catch Monday Night Football tonight, 5:15. Rams hosting the Dolphins. Jim and I will take you right up to kickoff in your home of the NFL. San Diego Sports 760. We have some breaking news in from Major League Baseball. Mike Schilt is a finalist for National League Manager of the Year with former Padres manager Pat Murphy and Carlos Mendoza of the Mets. So Mike Schilt, Pat Murphy, Carlos Mendoza are your NL Manager of the Year finalists. Earned, deserved, got the extension. That should not come as any surprise.
Carlos Mendoza, no. Pat Murphy, I mean, I guess.
What's the no on Mendoza?
Oh, the no on Mendoza is their payroll was the number 1 or number 2 payroll in all of baseball.
Right. But they kind of they grimace their season from like being awful to being good. Because of grimace.
I mean, Mike Schilt, to me, you slash $90+ million in payroll, and you lead the team to 93 wins. I mean, I know that the GM for the Brewers won Executive of the Year, which was a joke, but I think Mike Schilt, to me, has a very good chance to win.
He's got a shot. I mean, Mendoza 75 wins in 2023.
Okay.
To 89. Padres went from 80 to 93. 82 to 93. They were plus 11. Mets did not have a huge payroll this past year. I mean, they had a massive payroll in 2023, right?
No, they had a massive payroll this year as well.
It's got to be some dead money in there.
Probably, but I mean, not a lot of dead money.
So just from a payroll perspective, you're saying give it to Schilt? I buy it.
Yeah.
I buy it.
Yeah. I mean, if your payroll is top 5 in baseball,
right?
I mean, you're expected to win a bunch of baseball games.
Yeah, Mets had the number 1 payroll.
Exactly. So to me, if he finishes above Mike Schilt, once again, bias against the Padres for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, the payroll alone for me doesn't tell the full story because it's like the Mets had a high payroll in 2023 and they completely bottomed out. But I get it. If that's the reason, if all things are equal, to give it to one manager over another, I get it. I think Schultz got a good chance to win that. All right, so we're talking about Roki Sasaki. Kyle Glazer from formerly Baseball America will join us coming up at 4 p.m. Roki Sasaki is this prized phenom out of Japan, okay? Some believe to be better than Yoshinobu Yamamoto, one of the biggest pitching prospects in the history of Japan. He's only 23 years of age. His career numbers are off the charts, and he's coming over now following the path of someone like Shohei Ohtani. You say, well, why would you come over now? You wait 2 years, you could get $300 million like Yamamoto. He wants to come over now. There's marketing dollars in it. He wants to get to the major leagues now. That's what Ohtani did. Obviously, it worked out pretty well for Shohei Ohtani, but here's a guy that has his entire career in front of him that you're getting on a complete bargain deal for the next 6 years. A lot like Shohei Ohtani when he went to the Angels, the difference being the Angels never built anything around him. The chances are here with Sasaki. I'd be shocked if he ends up with a club that does not compete for the next 6 years. This is the type of player you put at the top of your rotation. If it's not in 2024, okay, but you're putting him in the top of the rotation, or 2025, excuse me. He's going to sit at the top of your rotation potentially for years while making $1 million or $2 million per year. So it's an unbelievable opportunity. Typically, when you think about this type of talent, you're going to pay for it. Like Yamamoto, you're going to pay for it. But in this instance, you have a chance to get someone on the cheap at the front of your rotation for the next 6 years. That's a dream come true for an organization like the Padres specifically with payroll constraints.
Here are his numbers. All right. In 4 seasons in the Nippon Professional Baseball League. All right. He had a 2.02 ERA. He threw 414 and 2/3 innings with 524 strikeouts. He allowed only 275 hits in those 414 innings. Now, those are insane numbers, and he throws 102.
Yep, that's right.
Everything you just said there with the money and the control time, this guy would fit perfectly into this rotation. Right off the bat, next year, you got Cease, King, Darvish, Sasaki. And then you can have a back end of, Vasquez, Waldron, and then go out and make a move for another starting pitcher. Because as we've seen, you can never have enough starting pitching.
Yeah. And also come 2026, you get a Joe Musgrove back.
Mm-hmm.
So you have even more. Now, we don't know what they're going to look like in 2026 with Michael King or Dylan Cease or wherever you go from there. But I'm with you. I mean, if you added Sasaki, think about it this year. They were without Joe Musgrove in the postseason. You could argue it cost them a chance to advance. If you add in a piece like Roki Sasaki, maybe it gives them a realistic chance to advance. So we'll keep our eye on it. We'll see when he's posted. It could be at some point later this year. It's likely to be on January 15th of 2025. I mentioned the fact that we have Aztec basketball tickets to give away. We'll do that for tomorrow night. San Diego State back home tomorrow night. We'll give them away after a conversation with San Diego State's men's soccer coach, Ryan Hopkins. Aztecs went undefeated in conference play. They're about to start their conference tournament, trying to get to an NCAA tournament. We'll talk to Ryan Hopkins after the conversation. We'll give away San Diego State basketball tickets for tomorrow night. Kyle Glaser will join us at 4 p.m. We have Monday Night Football coming up at 5:15 between the Rams and the Dolphins. This is Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Progressive. Monday Night Football tonight, Rams and Dolphins in LA, 5:15 kickoff. You can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. San Diego State takes on Occidental tomorrow night at Viejas Arena, 7 p.m. tip, 6 p.m. pregame. And news in baseball, Mike Schilt is a finalist for the National League Manager of the Year. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
All right, as you know, we have San Diego State basketball tomorrow night. It's great to catch up on San Diego State men's soccer right now. Ryan Hopkins is the head men's soccer coach at San Diego State. What a year it's been for the Aztecs on the Mesa, undefeated in conference play in the WAC, and they will open conference tournament play against the number 5 seed San Jose State, the WAC semifinals, Wednesday at 3. That game will be played at Grand Canyon. You can actually watch it on ESPN Plus. If they advance, the championship game is going to be on Saturday. So, Coach, first of all, we appreciate you hopping on and tell us about this special season, the first conference championship in San Diego State school history, all these shutouts, undefeated in conference play. Tell us about this special season, what you're looking forward to this week as well.
Absolutely. First off, thanks for having me on. Always appreciate your guys' support and getting me on here. So thank you for that. Yeah, it's really been a remarkable season. It's kind of been the tale of two seasons. The preseason, we intentionally made it hard. I think our non-conference strength of schedule right now is number 11 in the country. So we went through some ups and downs, got some great results, had some games where we didn't play well. But, most importantly, we want guys just to face adversity. And we definitely did that, and I think that really prepared us for league. In the conference, we've won games in 4 different states, which just shows you the geographic layout of our conference, but also the challenges of some of our travel. We had to fly to, UTRGV, which is one of the most southern points in our country, and then come back and play at Grand Canyon 2 days later, and then come home and play Thursday. So our guys have faced adversity time and time again, and they keep answering the bell, and we're really excited to get rolling in the conference tournament.
And doing this for the first time, winning a conference championship, first time in school history, it kind of feels like from just hearing you talk right now that you guys aren't satisfied at all yet with what you've accomplished.
No, not at all. That's kind of been the layoff. We haven't played a game since November 3rd with kind of how the conference tournament layout is. So that's kind of been, the old Nick Saban rat poison, just trying to keep the guys hungry, let them know that obviously we're super proud of them. The school is super proud of them and behind them. But yeah, we came here to go to a Final Four. That's the ultimate dream and that's the ultimate goal. And, the regular season was obviously the first step in that because that gives you, the buy and gives you the momentum and things like this. But yeah, we put that aside for now, and we're on to the conference tournament as the second major goal we wanted this year.
Ryan Hopkins is San Diego State's men's soccer head coach. He's with us right now on Jon and Jim. Did this become, I'm looking at like your non-conference, and I remember when you went to College Park and took on Maryland, and you earned a point there in a tie. They're a very formidable group, obviously. Was that a jumping off point for this team, going to Maryland, getting a point there, and seeing what this team was capable of?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, that's, a team that's got 4 national championships. So, and you fly across country. We actually, talk about that travel and adversity. We played at home on a Friday against Sac State and then got on a plane and played at Maryland on Monday. So, again, just putting our guys in those adverse situations. But I think we grew up a lot that night. And to be honest, we could have won the game. There was a really tight. We scored a goal with about 8 minutes left. Really tight offsides call, got VAR'd, didn't get overturned. So, we even felt like we could have gotten more from that game. But I think that was a really, really good turning point in the season, being on the road in that kind of environment of like, okay, who we are. And, then we came back and, probably had our worst game of the season against Oregon State. Just did not play well at all. And so I think between those 2 games, we really need to find out who we were. And I think we figured out we're a gritty, hardworking, opportunistic, just really, really hard to score on type of team. And I think that's what's really carried us as we figured out, what our identity was going to be.
Yeah, mentioning your defense there, your hard team to score on. Does it feel like when you guys get a lead in the game, that's the time where you can really lean on your strength and your defense and try to close that game out, pull away with the win?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our guys are so comfortable, and it's kind of the talk around the league even now is like, you better not give up a goal to San Diego State because it's going to be really hard to minimum get 1, but 2 to win the game. And, I think our guys have even said it in a couple of interviews, they feel, even when it's 1-0, it feels way bigger than that. We're just so comfortable, playing with that. We never trailed once in the WAC regular season, which is, also an amazing statistic for our guys. But yeah, we're just so comfortable playing with the lead, and we're just so comfortable playing a lot of different ways. Sometimes we have to sit deep. Sometimes we have to control the game with the ball. Sometimes we have to be better on counterattack. Sometimes we have to be good on set pieces. And I think that really bodes well, for tournament type of play, that we can win in a lot of different ways.
Ryan Hopkins is with us right now, San Diego State men's soccer head coach. So, Ryan, I'm not overly familiar with the format for the men's soccer tournament in Division I. Is the path through the WAC tournament? Is there any other path for San Diego State at this point, or is it, hey, we need to win twice to get into this event?
It would be tight. We're 46 in the RPI right now. As I mentioned, our adjusted RPI is 15. So we've got an interesting resume for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We probably don't have enough. We don't have a quad 1 win, which is usually kind of puts you over the top. Kind of in that at-large, 48 teams go. So we're probably right on that bubble. So, kind of our talk has been within the group is, we're here to win the tournament. And just like everybody else has got to win 2 games to get in. And, that's kind of our mindset. And if we happen to do enough to get in that large, that's great. But, we wanted to make the regular season and the conference championship were our 2 goals when we started this thing, way back in January when we knew we were going to be in the WAC. And so that's all we're focused on right now.
Obviously, you're not finished yet, but building this program going forward, how much does this mean for the future success of San Diego State soccer?
Yeah, it's huge. We've obviously had a lot of success in the past, an NCAA finalist, 1987, but it had been a few years, and even, while I was here, still building this up and coming out of COVID and different things like that. So I think for me, it helps so many different aspects, from recruiting, fundraising, just overall happiness and harmony of the group. But we're just so thrilled that we could do something like this. And we felt like, our school, with basketball and softball the last couple of years, there's always one team at San Diego State that I think has that kind of big run in them. I just think that's, kind of what our school is. We develop players, and then when you get a good core, you can make a run. And I feel hopefully this year we can, follow suit of what basketball and softball has done the last couple of years.
No doubt about it. Ryan, we're rooting for you. Again, Wednesday is the semifinals in the WAC from Grand Canyon. It's San Diego State, San Jose State at 3, streaming on ESPN+. Championship game Saturday. Ryan Hopkins, the WAC Coach of the Year in 2024, following an undefeated campaign in the conference here in the regular season. Ryan, we're looking forward to it. We hope to catch up with you, hopefully on your way to an NCAA tournament. But thanks for taking time for us today.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys. Have a great one.
All right. Ryan Hopkins, again, San Diego State men's soccer head coach. They'll try to win 2 games in Phoenix and advance to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2016. We will get to Is That Good on the other side, the best and worst of the sports weekend. We will catch up with Kyle Glazer because he has spoken about Roki Sasaki's posting and his expectations. Where could he land? Is San Diego on that list? Also, Monday Night Football tonight. Rams, Dolphins coming up at 5:15 to wrap up. What is it? Is this week 10?
Dude, yeah.
It's kind of fun. Is it
9, I think.
Okay, week 9.
9,
halfway
week 10.
through. We will get into that as well because we do have Monday Night Football for you right here on San Diego
10.
Sports 76. It's week 10.
It's week 10.
So we're past the halfway point. An important game, I'd say, for the Rams tonight. Wouldn't you say 4-4 overall against the Dolphins? So an important game for the Rams at home against Miami.
Dolphins season's over. They're 2-6. That's kind of not a dumpster fire, but it's kind of just like fading away. Mike McDaniel might be gone at the end of the season. The Rams have a very good chance here with now a fully healthy team coming off of the bye.
Mm-hmm.
Their offensive line is now healthy. Puka and Cooper Kupp are back. Matthew Stafford, Kyren Williams, young defense. They've had some pretty big wins in the early part of the season to keep them alive and keep them afloat, and especially in the NFC West not being like it used to be. And then the Cardinals lead the NFC West right now at 6-4. The Niners are 5-4. This is a huge game for the Rams to keep pace in the division because likely they're not going to get in as a wild card. They're probably going to have to just try to get in as a division winner.
No doubt about it. Rams Dolphins tonight. San Diego Sports 760 at 5:15. And again, Colin Glazer will join us coming up at 4 p.m. We'll get to Is That Good? The best and worst of the sports weekend on the other side. We're with you until 5:15. This is Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim. We've told you about our friends at Jamul Casino all football season long. This is the night to get out there. Monday night, again, Monday Night Football coming up with Rams and Dolphins. You get there every single Monday throughout the course of the football season. You'll have chances to win big with great promotions out at Jamul Casino.
Yeah, John, with 10 winners every hour at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m., your odds are better than ever. Plus, you can earn entries all month long by playing and getting two-time entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 in cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000 in cash.
If you're heading out tonight, check out Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. You can watch the game, enjoy the food and the drinks. They've got great Tony Gwynn sports memorabilia. There's great food options at Jamul Casino, and they have endless dining 5 nights a week. If you're going this weekend, like Saturday, they have a surf and turf buffet. You'll love it. They've gone over the top with perfect combinations of steaks, seafood, and more.
Yeah, Jamul Casino is a great place to go watch a game. Great atmosphere, great vibe. When you go to Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, I highly recommend the Slam Diego burger with truffle fries. You'll thank me later. Jamul Casino, it's fun above all else.
You can help local ill and injured service members get home for the holidays at San Diego Sports 760's Warrior Foundation Freedom Station Giveathon this Thursday, presented in part by Sedano Automotive Group. Thank our brave warriors for a gift we'll never forget. The Warrior Foundation Freedom Station Giveathon, also supported by Unicorn Jewelry and Watch Boutique on San Diego Sports 760. You have a chance, by the way, to win that 1.5 carat diamond. Just open up the iHeartRadio app, search for San Diego Sports 760, leave a talkback by clicking that little red microphone icon. Just tell us why you should win that 1.5 carat lab-grown diamond from Unicorn Jewelry and Watch Boutique. You can qualify today. We'll have qualifiers every day this week on Jon and Jim. We'll announce a winner coming up on Monday during Jon and Jim.
A freaking 1.5 carat lab-grown diamond.
Yeah, a freaking one.
Is that big?
It is.
Yeah.
I know nothing about diamonds other than they're expensive and shiny.
1.5 carat diamond.
This is not. This is
according to James Bond. They're forever.
So, when I got Erin's engagement ring, I got her a little. I got her a lab-grown diamond that was a little under 1.5 carat.
Yeah, a little under. She could use the upgrade here.
Thing was expensive. It's not
These
cheap.
ain't small.
These ain't small, Brett.
No,
these ain't small.
No.
1.5 carat. That's a good size right there.
Dude, you can win a 1.5 carat diamond just by opening the talkback mic.
Like, come on.
Okay, so someone's gonna do that. Like, there's not gonna be tens of thousands of people. So just open up the app, search for San Diego Sports 760. Tell us why you should win by clicking on the red microphone, and you might win a 1.5 carat diamond.
And you don't have to have it, be put into an engagement ring. You can make it into a necklace, a bracelet, whatever you want.
You can do anything you want with it. Yeah, you can
put
do
in your
anything.
Teeth. You have diamond studded.
Just
grill out of
look
it.
at it every night.
You can have one earring, 1.5 carat lab-grown diamond for one earring.
Right, or split it into 2.75 carat earring is what you can do. Kyle Glaser is going to join us coming up at 4 p.m. We're here until 5:15. Monday Night Football. You can hear it on San Diego Sports 760. Rams and Dolphins. All right, let's get to this.
Is that good?
Wilcox, snapper, Huber, holder, from 29 yards away. Oh, he missed it badly. Kick on the way. Boswell. That's a winner.
The good and bad from the sports weekend.
I feel like my first is that good is exactly like our open for it, because yesterday Jake Moody missed 3 field goals in the Niners-Bucks game. Then he hit the game winner as time expired.
Never in doubt.
Got in a fight with Deebo Samuel on the sideline. Brent, is that good?
No, he's not good.
I agree. He hit the game winner, but I was I was just like, I can't believe they barely won that game, because they had that game in hand the entire way and they almost lost it. And I thought it was hilarious that Deebo is going up to the kicker and the long snapper, like, hey, guys, lock in. And then the long snapper and the kicker are getting upset with Deebo. Like, give me a break.
Nice captain. All right, I'll give you my
He's
first.
my captain.
That's my captain. My first one is this. The Aztecs have played one basketball game.
Really?
And Miles Bird is currently the Ken Pom National Player of the Year.
Stop the season.
20 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks, 4 steals, 3 assists. The only player over the last decade to put up that exact stat line over the last decade. Is that good?
It is good.
Thank you.
Now just do that for the next.
Just do that for the next
games.
30 games and you're good.
You're
20
fine.
points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks, 4 steals, 3 assists.
That was an incredible game by him.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
Jared Goff last night threw 5 interceptions and the line still won.
Yeah.
Is that good?
No, he's not good. Are you kidding me?
That's amazing.
It really is.
The thing that was even more amazing was the field goal to tie it and the field goal to win it. They could not be any closer from hitting the post.
I know. Amazing.
It's crazy. Undrafted rookie, too.
Incredible stuff.
Way better than Jake Moody.
Yesterday, the Jets behind Aaron Rodgers lost 31-6 to end their season.
Yeah.
Essentially, their season's over. Right. Is that good?
It is good.
Very good.
It's good for everyone
a hater.
else.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
sick of watching the Jets in prime time
Right.
and flex them all out.
Not only did it probably end their season, it might have ended Aaron Rodgers' career. I mean, how do you return? How do you come? Honestly,
for another season
I'm
or for next week?
I'm serious. How do you return? Your team sucks. They're not getting any better.
He'll be back.
I know. Bronny made his G League debut over the weekend. surely he had a big game, right? LeBron was in the crowd. AD was there. Even his head coach, JJ Redick, was in the crowd. He scored 4 points in his debut. Is that good?
He was 2 of 10 from the floor.
Oh, you left that part out. Now, hold on.
Yeah, he was 2 of 10 from the floor.
Okay, I take back the good.
All right. So, no, not great. My final is that good is going to be all of a sudden, I'm looking at the Heisman odds right now, and Ashton Genty is back to the second shortest odds. He had 3 touchdowns this past week. They narrowly beat Nevada. He ran for over 200 yards. Do we see that as good or not? Is that good?
You're doing Ashton Genty?
This is what happens when I have my
Who's number one?
Travis Hunter is the shortest odds at Colorado.
Can I give a bonus?
Sure.
The Cowboy season's over. Is
Yeah,
that good?
that's true. That's true.
Their season was over as soon as Dak went out.
Yeah.
Brent, do you have is that good for this weekend that involves maybe
How
the
about
shirt you're
Caleb?
wearing?
How about Caleb
The
Williams?
jacket you're wearing?
Oh no, they sucked again.
If
If they get blown up by Green Bay, fire everybody.
How about fire everybody right now?
How about change
They can
quarterbacks
wait.
right now?
The season's a wash. If they beat Green Bay twice, the rest of the season's forgiven.
Really?
You know,
They play Packers twice?
Yeah, they haven't even
wow.
played
Yeah,
them yet.
every
They
year.
play them this week.
Pretty cool.
I meant like, do they play them 2 more times?
Yes,
Oh, I
the
gotcha.
first one is this
Okay,
weekend.
Right.
got it.
So if they beat Green Bay twice, I'll forget everything else. I'll wipe the whole year clean for Caleb. If not, then fire everybody.
Did you take as much offense with the Texans uniforms as everyone
I
else
did.
seemingly did? They were really
They're
ugly.
awful.
The unit, I didn't like the uniform. Those helmets were fire though.
They were cool.
I love
Yeah.
the helmets, just not the all red.
Aaron goes, what team is this?
Yeah, what team is that? It's a good point.
Like, what? The
Yeah.
Texans? She goes, is that like a throwback jersey? Like, no, that's like a new
Forward
created
nouveau,
jersey on
yeah.
Madden.
You can't lose a game at home when you lead 23-6 and the opposing quarterback throws 5 interceptions.
That was brutal. Lions, bro.
Dude,
Yeah,
Lions.
they just find ways.
Lions.
Yeah,
dude.
they may be
I
the best.
Didn't even have the game on. I pulled one of those. Hey, I'm not gonna say the name because it's gonna turn my phone on. I was like, "What's the Sunday Night Football score?" And it was like 23-7. I was like, no point in turning that on. And then like 4 hours later, I was like, "What?"
They won the game. Yeah.
It's like every game in the NFL. It's like the good teams are never
It's
fully
always
out of
Detroit
them.
too. It used to think it was just like a Stafford thing to where they would always fall behind and then he'd just lead this big comeback. But apparently, it's just a Detroit thing.
even more so in the NBA. The Warriors were up by like 30 plus points yesterday to the Thunder. And I was like, okay, they're going to win that game. I looked back with like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They're only up by like 6.
Did they win?
They won.
Okay, they still won the game. All right, Kyle Glazer will join us on the other side. The latest on the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes. Also still ahead, Trainwreck Radio. Do we have Trainwreck Radio today?
Technically, no.
Okay,
we're
cool.
doing qualifiers on the talkback mic.
All right, cool. No Trainwreck Radio. Plus, Monday Night Football coming up at 5:15 between the Rams and the Dolphins. It's Jon and Jim. Don't go anywhere.
All right, this update is brought to you by Progressive. Monday Night Football tonight, ending Week 10. Rams take on the Dolphins up in L.A., 5:15 kickoff. You can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. San Diego State takes on Occidental tomorrow night at Viejas Arena, 7 p.m. tip-off, 6 p.m. pregame. And in the baseball world, Mike Schilt has been named a finalist for NL Manager of the Year. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? It is hour 2 of Jon and Jim. We're here until 5:15 when Monday Night Football begins. Rams and Dolphins from Los Angeles. We've been talking about Roki Sasaki, the Japanese starting pitcher phenom, one of the top pitching prospects in the world. He is expected to be posted this winter. Where will he land in Major League Baseball? It's always our pleasure to have Kyle Glaser back with us on the show, formerly Baseball America. Great resource for us on all things Padres and Major League Baseball. So, Kyle, as always, we appreciate it. Let's just start there. How do you see this process playing out in terms of who are going to be the quote-unquote serious suitors for Roki Sasaki?
Well, the fascinating thing about this situation is all 30 teams are going to have a shot. Because Roki Sasaki is still subject to the international bonus pools, he's limited in what bonus he can get. And it's going to be a figure depending on whether or not teams acquire a certain amount of international bonus space. It's going to be no more than $10 to $12 million. So that being said, you look at the Yankees, the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Mets, all teams that have done a lot of scouting and signing of the top players out of Japan in recent years. But the Padres, Giants, Mariners are also going to be in as well. Teams that are also active in Asia. So every team's going to have a shot, and that's what makes this process so interesting and so fascinating.
Kyle, what's the scouting report on Roki Sasaki for people out there that might not have seen him pitch yet, or they don't know much about him? Is he really that special?
The stuff is certainly that electric. It's a 97 to 100 mile an hour fastball with life and movement. It's a splitter that is absolutely ridiculous. It comes out of the same slot as his fastball, so hitters don't know it's coming until it's too late. He's got a really, really good slider as well. Throws plenty of strikes. Command could be tightened, but that's true with a lot of young pitchers. And that, he's 6'3", 200, and he just turned 23 years old. He's already just exceptionally talented, and he has room to get better in terms of just fine-tuning his command, adding more pitches, getting a little bit stronger. He set a Japanese record with 19 strikeouts in a perfect game a few years ago. It's swing and miss stuff that just makes you say, wow. Things with him are just, again, refining that command and control a little bit. And also there are some injury concerns.
Kyle Glaser with us right now on Jon and Jim. I guess some people would say, why now when someone like Yoshinobu Yamamoto got over $300 million because he waited until a certain age to be posted? We've seen Shohei Ohtani. Obviously, he didn't, and that has worked out beautifully for Ohtani as well. So what makes this the right time for Sasaki? What are the pros and cons?
It really is just about him wanting to come over to Major League Baseball. So he asked to be posted after last season too, and his team, the Chiba Lotte Marines, declined to post him. He's now asked a second year in a row, and Chiba Lotte's general manager in a statement said this was about, doing, basically his wishes. And in the process, Chiba Lotte loses out on a lot of money. If they had waited to post him until after he was 25 years old and can come over as a without the international bonus pool restrictions, he probably would have signed for a contract equal to, if not larger than Yoshinobu Yamamoto's $325 million deal, which would have meant a posting fee upwards of $50 million for Chiba Lote. Instead, he's going to be limited to, again, depending on teams and which team it is and how much bonus pool space they acquire, $10 to $12 million max. And then Chiba Lote is probably looking like a $2 to $3 million posting fee. So this is about, doing what their best player, asked as opposed to anything financial.
He's not even posted yet, but we know the connections that he has here in San Diego with Yu Darvish and AJ Preller, and then we know the connections in LA with Yamamoto and Ohtani, his teammates for the World Baseball Classic in Japan. Does it feel like when he gets posted, the two front runners are the Dodgers and the Padres, or do you think that there's another team out there that you could see him theoretically going to?
The Dodgers and Padres certainly make a lot of sense for a number of reasons, but I think it would be a mistake to say it'll be only one of those two. The Cubs are a team that is very, very active in terms of scouting in Asia, building relationships with players, and devoting time, energy, and resources to signing these players. We saw that with Shota Imanaga and Seiya Suzuki the last couple of years. Mets and Yankees as well are two teams that have signed some very, very prominent Japanese stars in recent years and put a lot of resources on the ground there too. So at the end of the day, this is going to come down to more or less who makes the strongest recruiting pitch, just as it was with Shohei Ohtani when he came over a few years ago. And when you have teams like the Cubs, Yankees, Mets, Dodgers, all of whom spend considerable time scouting over there, know him, he knows them, I think they're all going to be in it, as well as Padres, Mariners, Giants, Red Sox, who also put in a lot of time and effort over there.
What's going to matter, Kyle, in that pitch? Because the Padres have obviously pitched some of these high-profile Japanese players before. I think they've been considered, but clearly they've come in second place or worse previously. I'm thinking about Shohei. Obviously, there wasn't a DH at the time, or Seiya Suzuki. There have been others. I don't know if there's anything we can say specifically about Roki Sasaki, but do we know what he might be looking for in a pitch from a major league team?
It's all speculation at this point. It really is just going to come down to personal preference. And, with most top Japanese superstars, they play it pretty close to the vest. And so at this point, it's just going to be about, for whatever team matches what his preferences are, they're going to have an edge. But, what his preferences are, only he knows that. His agent knows that. We just have to see. But generally speaking, we have seen the strength of relationships play a big, big factor in where Japanese players sign. One of the big reasons Shohei Ohtani signed with the Angels, in addition to, the AL being able to DH, but his relationship with Billy Epler was a big reason he signed with the Angels as opposed to another American League team. So because this is a recruiting pitch, more or less, it's going to be about where does the player feel most comfortable? Where does he have the strongest relationships? And ultimately, where does he see himself having the most success?
Is he viewed as a guy from day one that could be, not front of the rotation, but I mean, stuff wise, he has got front of the rotation type stuff. But from day one, is he viewed as a guy that can help a team immediately in a big way?
Absolutely. He's someone that as soon as he comes over, will be in a major league rotation and has a chance to make an impact. He's very similar, speaking strictly in terms of where Shohei Ohtani was as a pitcher and a pitcher only coming out of Japan. Sasaki is very similar in terms of both had fastballs, upper 90s, had devastating splitters, really good sliders, command and control need a little bit of refinement, and some injury concerns. When you look at Ohtani's first year, he was really, really good with the Angels. He wasn't, elite, but he was really, really good. Had some injury issues. And then when he got on the mound 2021 to 2023, after a few years of development, getting stronger, adding some other pitches, he did eventually blossom into one of baseball's best pitchers before unfortunately getting hurt again. So this kid just turned 23. He has a chance to step in right away and be electrifying. And what's so enticing is he still has room to get better too.
Kyle Glaser with us right now on Jon and Jim. Switching over to some free agents that are coming off seasons with the Padres. Jurickson Profar obviously had a very nice season considering the contract he was given in 2024. We've seen Ha-Seong Kim obviously have some success in the major leagues over his 4 years with the Padres as well. What do you expect the markets to look like for both Profar and Kim in free agency?
Yeah, Kim, there's always a demand for shortstops. Now, look, he's not coming off of a very good year offensively, and he has, injuries. So, those are complicating factors. At the same time, I do expect him to land a multi-year deal somewhere with a solid average annual value. I wouldn't expect anyone to pay him, $20 million a year over 7 years or anything, but multiple 3-4 years and 40-50 million dollars somewhere in there. I think it's very possible just because there's always a need for players who can play shortstop and play it at a high level. Jurickson Profar is going to be interesting. We've seen the market for corner outfielders not be particularly robust in recent years, and he's someone that has flourished in San Diego and struggled elsewhere. I actually think his market's going to become one of the most fascinating to watch, just because he's, again, corner outfielder. He's only really been successful in one place. How teams, measure him is going to be fascinating to me.
For this offseason, it's not like last offseason where Preller had the big trade chip in Juan Soto and in one fell swoop could get a lot of the things that he needed. The payroll isn't going to be like it was in 2022 where he has an unlimited checkbook. Some key free agents that you just talked about there can be tough to bring those guys back at the numbers they're looking for. How difficult of this offseason do you think it's going to be for Preller with, not the Juan Soto trade chip and not unlimited cash to go out? And if he does miss out on Roki Sasaki, like how difficult is it to continue to build on this 93 wins this past year and potentially get further in the postseason, get over the Dodger hump next year?
It's certainly going to be difficult if they're not able to add, just especially in the rotation. You look at losing Joe Musgrove for the year after, he suffered an elbow injury. It's going to require Tommy John surgery. This is where GMs, kind of make their money, so to speak, right? I mean, obviously, when you have an unlimited payroll or you have a big trade chip, it certainly makes your job easy. But, this is where a lot of GMs make their bones. It's if when they do have, kind of restricted resources and how creative can they be, whether it's making trades or finding players on, lower end deals. I mean, look, we've seen the last few years, right? Michael Wacha and Seth Lugo were not big, sexy signings when they happened, and they worked out really well for the Padres. Nick Martinez as well. That was, a couple of years ago. And last year, obviously, we saw, the Profar signing worked out great. Acquiring Kyle Higashioka, who was an afterthought in that Juan Soto trade, turned out great as well. So this is where he's going to have to be creative and the entire Padres front office staff. But given they've done a pretty good job the last 2 years at finding those players sort of, outside of the top tier, gives you some confidence.
Kyle, final one for me is, would it be abnormal for a manager to have a longer deal than the general manager? Because Mike Schilt is now officially signed through 2027. I think at last check publicly, AJ Preller was signed through 2026. Would you think that Preller would be lined up with Mike Schilt, or is it that Mike Schilt has a deal that goes longer than his general managers?
It's not that uncommon. It certainly happens, and it's just a matter of, individuals when they sign, what their market for their services is, how many years it's going to take to line them up. I wouldn't read too much into that. It's just individual negotiations and timing. It's not that uncommon.
Kyle, always appreciate the time. We're looking forward to this offseason. Again, Roki Sasaki will be posted at some point. We'll see where he lands in Major League Baseball in 2025. As always, we appreciate it. We'll do it again this winter, all right?
Thanks, Kyle.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
All right, Kyle Glaser, again, formerly with Baseball America on the Roki Sasaki market.
The more we talk about Roki Sasaki and hear about Roki Sasaki,
more I want him.
I want him now.
Yeah, we need him.
Need Roki Sasaki in a Padres uniform.
Yes, it needs.
It needs to happen.
Yeah.
It's not even it's like it needs to happen now.
And if he ends up with the Dodgers, the show ends. So
yes.
Thanks for listening.
So AJ, if you're listening,
if you don't like the show,
then if you don't, exactly. If you don't like the show, I understand. But let's get this thing done now. All right.
Let's
get it done.
All right. The wrap is on the other side. We are here until 5:15 when the Rams take on the Dolphins. You can hear Monday Night Football right here on San Diego Sports 760. Jon and Jim with you for the next hour. Stay with us. All right, hey guys, it's Jon and Jim. As you know, we've been telling you about our friends at Hamul all football season long. Tonight's a great night to get out there. The return of Monday Night Football each and every Monday at Hamul. You've got a chance to win big out at Hamul Casino.
Yeah, with 10 winners every hour, 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Your odds are better than ever. Plus, you can earn entries all month long by playing and getting two-time entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 in cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000 in cash.
It's really a spectacular spot. You'll love their food, and you're going to love Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. You can watch the game tonight there all weekend long with the NFL. They have great food and drinks. They have Tony Gwynn sports memorabilia. If you're heading out tonight, check it out. If you're heading out this weekend, Hamul has endless dining 5 nights a week, including on Saturday nights with Saturday Surf and Turf Buffet. You'll love it. Perfect combinations of succulent steaks, delectable seafood, and more.
Yeah, their new Chinese cuisine restaurant, Emerald, is back with a brand new look and a refreshed menu. Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, it's a great place to watch a game. Great food as well. Like I said before, I highly recommend the Slam Diego burger with truffle fries. You'll thank me later. Hamul Casino, it's fun above all else.
You can help local ill and injured service members get home for the holidays. San Diego Sports 760's Warrior Foundation Freedom Station Give-a-thon this Thursday, presented in part by West Automotive Group. Thank our brave Warriors with a gift we'll never forget. The Warrior Foundation Freedom Station Give-a-thon this Thursday right here on San Diego Sports 760. We have a busy week. We'll be outside VA House tomorrow. San Diego State plays game 2.
against Occidental.
Occidental must win.
Must win.
They're wearing turquoise uniforms for an initiative with Nike that supports Native American groups, the N7 initiative. Pretty cool uniforms. They've worn them before. I think they auctioned them off. So they just showed those off, by the way, on social media if you want to check them out. Then Wednesday, we're back inside Viejas Arena, Jim, for the Aztec Blood Drive.
Yes.
From 3 to 6. Then Thursday, we have the Warrior Foundation Freedom Station Give-a-thon right here on San Diego Sports 760.
Yes.
So pretty busy.
Yeah.
Busy week. Plus chances to win, by the way, a 1.5 carat diamond from Unicorn
Jewelry and Watch Boutique.
That's right. Thank you. That's exactly right.
And then
we'll tell you more about that.
And then Monday at Viejas Arena, San Diego State Gonzaga.
Oh, yeah, just that.
Yeah. Against the number 4 ranked team
so
in the
we're
nation.
going to be out there Monday.
Yeah.
Are they the number 4 team in the nation?
Right now.
Gonzaga is 4th in the AP.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, very good.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward
I know
to that
you
game.
are. Can you give me tickets?
You're gonna freeze.
You can get credentialed.
Can you give me credentialed?
Yes. If you need me, do you want to go? Why are we going to freeze? The game's inside.
Are you gonna do pregame inside or the show inside?
No. Is it going to be freezing?
Well,
Last
It
time
was
we were
last
there,
time. You're
yeah.
right. We're going to think it's
high,
freezing.
high
I
as
agree.
60, high as 63.
Oh my
So that
God.
means it'll be
screwed.
below.
Oh, we're going to perish
we are
live
screwed.
on air.
Yeah, but that's high, so that means that'll be like 1
I know.
o'clock in the
High
afternoon.
of 63?
Yeah,
So that's going to be around like 50 degrees, 55 degrees at nighttime?
Is it possible to survive in such temperatures?
Not in San Diego.
no.
Oh, the temperatures are cooling off next week.
Oh, man. It's going to be a tough,
It's a joke.
it's gonna be a tough week for us.
Dude,
I'm kidding.
no, I know, but okay. Where were we? Let's get to this.
It's time for The Wrap, presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Was Deebo Samuel out of line for going after the kicker Jake Moody for missing 3 kicks yesterday?
No, because what happened, at least how it's being told, is that Deebo went over to the kicker and told him to lock in. Then the long snapper got involved and told Deebo to basically F off. We know what our job is. And then Deebo said, "Excuse me, who are you?" And then it was Deebo who kind of swiped at the guy, and was it Trebor? I forget his name.
You don't know the
Trebor
long
Taylor?
snapper
I don't know.
for the
Anyway,
holder?
he Deebo was wrong for that, but Deebo was not wrong for going to him and telling those guys to lock the F in.
He apologized.
He did.
He has since apologized. It's not a good look in a team sport, especially with a C on your chest. It's not. Now, things can happen. I agree with that. I've seen things play out with Machado and Tatis, and oftentimes I can defend a player in those circumstances. He's not automatically wrong because of the way it played out. I'm just saying from a look perspective, when you see it on television, I don't think it looked good for Deebo Samuel in real time.
No, in real time, it did not. But,
But
when you hear the whole
The
story,
circumstance- yes, that's
and
fine.
I think, like Richard Sherman talked about today, he goes, "Look, if I gave up a touchdown pass and another leader on the team come up to me and said, 'Hey, we need to lock in right now,' you shouldn't view that as like somebody taking a shot at you. You should be viewing that as like, you're right. I need to lock in. That can't happen again." And that's what Deebo was doing.
It was
Because
the physical part of
That
it.
that's
That's
part,
the
yeah,
part
yeah,
that was
yeah,
a little, you
yeah.
don't see it every day.
I didn't mind it though.
I wonder if Deebo would apologize if he didn't make the game-winning kick then.
Oh, if he didn't make
If
the
he
kick,
missed the 4th one, it'd be like, yeah, you can.
Yeah, he
I'll
might
tell
be
you what you can
gone
do
if
with
he
your
missed all
apology.
4.
if he missed all 4 and he wasn't cut today,
Yeah, exactly. He'd probably
that would be
cut.
malpractice by the head coach.
Yeah, you
Kyle
can't
Shanahan.
lose and miss 4 kicks.
No.
What
You
round
can't.
did he take him in?
The 3rd freaking round.
That's why they
third
wouldn't get
time-
rid of him.
But third time it does. Next question.
What team is the biggest threat to the Padres for signing Roki Sasaki?
I would have to say the Dodgers. They're obviously going to be in on it. I don't know their level of like interest in Roki Sasaki, but they're going to
I
go
do.
after him.
I do. It's
High.
extremely high.
Yeah. Because they have Yamamoto, they have Ohtani. That's the pitch that kind of trumps everything else, it feels like. Oh, you got 2 of the best players from my country on your team and 2 guys that I was teammates with in the World Baseball Classic. Like, okay. You just won a
And-
World Series?
And if you can only earn, we say only, if you can only earn 7, 8, 9 million over the next 6 years because of the criteria when you
Right.
come over from Japan at his age, there's nowhere where you can maximize dollars marketing wise more than Los Angeles. Maybe New York, but being in the West, large Asian population, he can obviously maximize marketing opportunities in Los Angeles. Can he do it to the same extent in San Diego? Maybe not. So I would say the Dodgers. I think there's marketing opportunities no matter where he lands. I think San Diego has a very realistic shot, but I bet the Dodgers have a very realistic shot as well. My one thing about the Dodgers, if I'm Sasaki, is you're never going to be the number one most marketed star on that team that's Japanese. And two, you're never going to be remembered as the guy that helped guide them to a World Series. They just won a World Series. So, yeah, you can add to that legacy, but you can literally create a legacy here if you win at the highest level. Next question.
Are the Cavs the best team in the NBA?
They're 11-0.
What?
They're 11-0.
What is this, 2012? Or what was
They
LeBron
just
there?
blew out the Warriors at home.
What do you mean they're 11-0?
Yeah, they're
In
like
basketball?
Was it? They
Like,
said they're like
yes.
the first team to start 10-0 since the 70-some win or Warriors.
They're
Yep.
11-0.
Yeah, they're the first team to start with this many consecutive wins to
Is
start the
that where
season
it's in?
since the 2016 Warriors.
No chance they're the best team in the NBA, correct? Like, we're going to get to the postseason. The Cavs are going to win it all.
I mean, they're really good, dude. Now
You know,
here's
if
the,
the
here's the
season
caveat.
ended today, John.
Yeah, here's the caveat. The East right now sucks.
Yeah.
Besides the Cavs and the Celtics, every single team is under 500 or at 500.
Okay,
Yeah,
but that
the
means they could
Bucks
get
are
through
awful.
the East.
The Sixers
Yeah.
are awful.
Yeah, and
So
they
if
could
you get
stack
through
up.
the
They could
East-
stack up a lot of wins by playing some really bad
Yeah.
teams.
How many is a lot? Like, what would be, what do you think a ceiling here is? I mean, they're going to win more than 60?
could,
It's
Yeah.
a huge
They stay healthy.
number.
dude?
But at 11-0
I-
gives you a shot.
I don't know who the best team in the NBA is right now because you could say the Celtics, you could say the Cavs. I think they're one of the best teams in the NBA, and they're 11-0. So
but I feel
sure.
like there's teams that are good in the regular season that always then don't have the same ease in the postseason. Maybe it's like an OKC 2 seed a year ago, or there's so many examples. Denver, before they broke
Yeah.
through, had some teams that didn't.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like once you get there, it's harder to envision. But 11-0 is 11-0, and I mean 60 wins is 60 wins, and they're going to win 60 games. I put this question: Is tomorrow a must-win game for the Aztecs? And I think the
Yes.
answer is yes.
By the way, breaking news.
I'm listening. Let's share it on the other side.
Okay.
Stay with us on Jon and Jim. All right, so what if you could be debt-free by this January, get rid of all that high-interest debt, pay off all your credit cards, consolidate everything into one lower payment? Hey, guys, it is Schaefer. If you're ready to stop stressing over bills, you need to call Loan Pronto right now. With rates at their lowest in 2 years, this is the perfect chance to use your home's equity and save big going into the new year. Loan Pronto has rates with APRs in the low fives, and they're getting homeowners hundreds of thousands out of their home's equity. Homeowners who do this save on average $850 a month. Huge money. Loan Pronto offers a ton of options, including total refis or their express equity lines of credit. So call now, get a rate quote in just minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call today and you won't make a house payment until 2025. LoanPronto.com, 619-207-4336. LoanPronto.com. Free rate quotes right now at 619-207-4336. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
All right, this update is brought to you by Progressive. We'll start with Monday Night Football. We're about 45 minutes away from kickoff in LA as the Rams take on the Dolphins. You can listen to that game right here on San Diego Sports 760. San Diego State Occidental tomorrow night at Viejas Arena, 7 p.m. tip, 6 p.m. is when our pregame coverage starts. And Mike Schilt has been named a finalist for NL Manager of the Year. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com. That's progressive.com.
All right, Jim said he had breaking news for us. He didn't share it in the update, which I liked. Kind of teasing that into the show.
Yes.
So what is this breaking, quote-unquote, breaking news? Sometimes Jim does use that term liberally.
Okay.
Okay, so
now there's this legit breaking news.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's legit.
Okay.
Jackson Merrill has been named a National League Rookie of the Year finalist.
Finalist? Yeah, we know that.
No, it's like official now, though. Like official.
Breaking news: Paul Skeens has been named a finalist.
Paul Skeens also a finalist?
Paul Skeens is a finalist for that and also for the Cy Young.
Oh, is he really?
He is, yeah.
Okay. That's kind of scary when you think about the Rookie of the Year.
So the finalists.
Well, who are the finalists?
Jackson Churio,
Yeah, right.
Paul Skeens, and Jackson Merrill. Shocker.
Is that breaking news 70470?
The finalists for the National League Cy Young are Chris Sale, who's going to win it, Paul Skeens, and Zach Wheeler.
Okay.
The finalist for the National League Manager of the Year, we always talked about that. Mike Schultz, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
The finalist for American League Manager of the Year is AJ Hinch, Matt Quattaro, and Stephen Vogt.
Okay.
I'd never heard of them.
What team does Matt Quintaro manage? Kansas City?
Kansas City.
Okay.
AL Rookie of the Year, Colton Cowser, Luis Gill, Austin Wells.
Hold on. Pause for a second. The names we just read off for American League Rookie of the Year candidates.
I know.
Compare that to the National Football League. When you think about like quarterbacks in their rookie year that are on national TV, but from a household name perspective.
Well, you don't know who Colton Cowser is?
I mean, you can't even compare.
Who's Colton
You can't
Cowser?
even compare.
You don't know Double C?
Gosh.
Okay, hold on. I'm looking at what Colton Cowser did. If that's even
He's
how you
not
say
exactly
his name.
Jaden Daniels in terms of like Q score, is my point.
All right. Hold on. So he plays for the Baltimore Orioles, John. He is 24 years old. He's an outfielder. This year, he hit 24 home runs. He had a 768 OPS.
Wow.
In
Okay,
153 games at a 3.1 WAR.
Let me ask you this. If I go to the Beltway, do you know what the Beltway is? The area that surrounds DC. If I go to the Beltway and say, hey, who are you more familiar with? Jaden Daniels or Colton Cowser?
Or
how many
Lamar
people
Jackson.
Right. Exactly. In the Baltimore, like Delaware, Maryland,
yeah.
Virginia, DC area.
Right.
I don't feel like Cowser's going to get a lot of those votes.
Probably not a lot of Cowser jerseys.
Shoot, there's probably more people that know Merrill because he's from Maryland. Potentially.
Exactly. The American League finalist for MVP, John.
Mm-hmm.
Shocker, Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
Juan Soto.
Mm-hmm.
And my boy Bobby Witt Jr.
I mean, Witt Jr., he's not going to win that over Aaron Judge.
No, it will be Aaron Judge. Maybe Bobby Witt second.
Maybe Soto.
Maybe Soto third.
Yeah. So when do we get winners on this? We think that we get Rookie of the Year winners a week from today in the National League. We said that last night on the wrap-up show.
If the days are right, they're going to do one every day.
Like throughout mid to late November?
Yeah. Let me check here. MLB.
Starting next week. I think it's November 18th for National League Rookie of the Year. That's what you said last night.
Yeah. So
can you be trusted?
It was like the 14th last year, I remember.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just look up here. So we got November 12th is the Silver Slugger Awards. We're going to find that out tomorrow.
Oh, it's going to be hard to sleep tonight.
I know. November 14th is the all MLB teams.
Yeah, I'm not getting any sleep this week.
November 14th is the Hank Aaron Award winners.
Right.
November 14th also is the Rivera and Hoffman Reliever of the Year awards.
When's the Heart and Hustle Award given out?
Same day is the Edgar Martinez Outstanding Designated Hitter Award. I wonder who's going to win that. Comeback Player of the Year awards also on November 14th. Rookie of the Year, November 18th. Manager of the Year, November 19th. Cy Young Award winners on the 20th. And MVP awards on the 21st.
Let me ask you.
Oh, Heart and Hustle Awards on November 22nd.
And people say MLB doesn't know how to control the off
How to
season.
party. Does any of this matter? To me, I would say the reason Merrill matters is because you get a first-round pick if he lands Rookie of the Year. So, like, from a fan perspective, you're adding to your draft capital if Jackson Merrill actually wins this award. So, to me, that's relevant. I'd like to see him paid off for a really good year. It was a great year, and I'd like to see him pick up the prize, so to speak, here. But I guess that's what I'm most concerned with. If Schilt doesn't win Manager of the Year, whatever. There's no draft picks on the line. No. But if Jackson Merrill wins Rookie of the Year, you benefit from an organization. I don't know if he's going to win it. We looked last night at DraftKings and FanDuel. He's now plus one something to Paul Skeens, who's like minus 140. So Paul Skeens all of a sudden is in that minus 140 range, and Jackson Merrill's in that plus 115 range, which makes him a slight underdog. I don't know if they're aware of the votes. How could they be aware of the votes? Just 30 votes, I think, that come in. But the point is, we always feared this. At the end of the day, the season ends. Who's got the bigger national name? Is it Skeens or Merrill? And the answer still is Skeens, even if Merrill wins the award, probably.
Yeah, I'll be very disappointed if Paul Skeens wins it over Jackson Merrill. And I'll be even more disappointed if it's like ends up not being close. Like if it's Paul Skeens gets a majority of the first place votes over Jackson Merrill, I'll be like, what were these writers watching?
You're saying if, okay, there's 30 first place votes and he gets 23 of them, Paul Skeens would be like, this is a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like winning coupled with his amazing year has to play a factor, because what Jackson Merrill did this year for a 21-year-old at the plate was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But he also did it while helping lead a team to 93 wins in the postseason. That has to play a factor. Has to. Paul Skeens had a great year, but he was on a bottom feeder team that wasn't going anywhere. You have to, I feel like, account and weigh the fact that Jackson Merrill was leading a contender and a winner. And Jackson Churio, you could say the same thing about him, because he was on a team that won a division in the Brewers.
Well, here's the problem. As the third candidate, is he going to take votes away from a Merrill or a Skeens?
I feel like he's not. I feel like that Merrill and Skeens are going to
first place.
Are going to get all of the first and second place votes. Jackson Churio might get all the third place votes. However that works out. And
I need to make sure that you're seated when this award is handed out, because I do believe that there's a pretty high likelihood. High might be a strong word. I believe that there's a very realistic possibility that he doesn't win it, which I hate to say. I'm with you. I think he's earned it. I think he gets the benefit of the doubt for two reasons. You say he was on a contending team and helped them. Here's the other thing. He was up since day one. Now, that's not Paul Skeens' fault, but Skeens didn't debut until May. He didn't debut until May. By then, Merrill already had probably 40 major league hits or something. I mean, we were through the beginning of the season. They played in the middle of March. Mm-hmm. He had already gotten off to a good start by the time Paul Skeens even debuted.
Would you say it's harder for a rookie that came up when Paul Skeens came up to win Rookie of the Year if you have guys like Merrill and Churio
probably
up for majority of the season?
I think it's harder. Yeah.
Should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jackson was up from day one.
Right.
And not only was he up from day one, but he produced and performed from day one.
Right. Someone said in our chat, would you rather Jackson Merrill win Rookie of the Year and be an above-average player, or lose Rookie of the Year, but he's top 3 MVP in one of the next 2 years, both still nets a draft pick? Is that right, by the way, Shota? See, I couldn't find that. So if you finish top 3, it results in a draft pick for your team, is what he's saying. I don't know what the pick would be. I'd obviously rather have him be top 3 in MVP voting than win Rookie of the Year. Why would you want something to happen that's already happened? The season's already over.
Yeah.
I want him moving forward to be really, really good too.
I would sacrifice this Rookie of the Year award for
top 3 MVP next year.
Oh my God.
It'd be an amazing year.
Yeah.
900 plus OPS, plays every day.
Yep. And he's already the best center fielder in the National League.
He's coming off the best season from a center fielder. Yeah.
Yeah. He had the best season of any center fielder in the National League.
Yeah.
Full stop. It's a fact.
It's gonna be close, is my guess. When it
I
comes
think
to
it will
rookie
be
of the year.
too. But I'm with you. I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm gonna be disappointed for sure. I'm not gonna have this fake, like, enraged outrage like some people in this town will, but I will be upset.
Who are those people? List them by name.
No.
Okay. I like that. I like that. All right. We're going to tell you about our great giveaway for the week on the other side. We're getting you ready for Monday Night Football. You can hear it right here on San Diego Sports 760 as well. Rams and Dolphins coming up at 5:15 tonight, plus the latest in the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes. The biggest pitching prospect in the world is heading to Major League Baseball. Is San Diego a realistic possibility or not? That's next on Jon and Jim.
time for the 2-minute drill with Jim Russell, brought to you by Hamul Casino.
Happy Monday, San Diego, and a salute to all of our veterans out there on this Veterans Day. The MLB hot stove is at a simmer right now, but one name who might hit the market soon that will definitely light the flame is Roki Sasaki. The 23-year-old phenom out of Japan will likely soon be one of the highest coveted free agents on the market. Kyle Glazer today on MLB Network on what teams he thinks has the best chance to land Sasaki.
The Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, and Cubs are the four teams that have poured the most resources, both in terms of time, scouting hours, money, and ultimately, effort into signing Japanese players. And so I think you have to look at those four teams probably as the favorites. But at the same time, the Padres, Giants, Mariners, Rangers, Red Sox, these are also teams that have spent a lot of time, money, energy, and resources scouting players in Japan. And building those relationships makes a big difference.
And speaking of relationships, AJ Preller is no stranger to Sasaki as he's heavily scouted him in the past. And Yu Darvish, a fellow countryman, is a mentor to Sasaki. Kyle Glazer on how much that relationship could help the Padres land Sasaki.
It definitely is a factor. When you look at the fact that San Diego is a place that has been attractive for Japanese players. Now, they haven't signed directly any of the huge players out of Japan, but they have been able to bring in some Japanese players in free agency. You have a fairly large Japanese population in San Diego. There's going to be a lot of comforts of home. They're a competitive team. And of course, you have Yu Darvish. Anytime you have a chance to play with your idol and someone that he has a relationship with, it certainly makes the Padres a very, very appealing option. It's absolutely in play that he ends up in San Diego.
Well, we'll see if Preller can pull another rabbit out of his hat this offseason.
Hamul Casino. 7 restaurants, thrilling games, and a sports pub voted San Diego's best. Hamul Casino is fun above all else.
All right, Jon and Jim back with you again tomorrow. We are outside Viejas Arena. San Diego State will play the second game of the regular season against Occidental College. Your sweatshirt, boy. What do you mean? Oh, it's gonna be cold. Yeah, I'm gonna be or a parka. I'm going parka.
Don't wear a sweatshirt.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear
mittens.
Yeah.
Double socks. Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Chattering.
They're so soft. I'm watching these NFL games. It's already like cold and raining.
I'm soft. It's like for pregame football here. It's cold. And like we're laughing at it from Scott. No, I've been out here too long. I said it's so adapted. Yeah, they always say how
Did people make too much of Michael Parsons yesterday? Michael Parsons essentially takes a shot at Michael Parsons. And Micah Parsons says that's above my pay grade if Mike's going to coach again next year. All coaching aside, Mike can leave and go where he wants to. Guys I kind of feel bad for is guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year on their way out because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. Is that an absurd statement by a star player in the National Football League? I really don't think it is. I think if this happened with the Jaguars or if this happened in a different sport like baseball or hockey, I don't think it would be the story that it's become. And this has become a huge story in the NFL.
This is a classic case of taking a quote and part of that quote,
I agree,
and making it the headline.
I agree. Because if you watch more of it,
you got to watch the whole clip to understand the context of it. But a lot I'm seeing on social media is Micah Parsons says that Mike McCarthy can go. Like, no, he didn't say that. And that's the problem a lot of times with, aggregation and taking things out of context. Like,
especially with Dallas.
It's, oh my God, especially anything in the NFL or anything in sports related, you got to have the full context to it. And the full context is not there. Micah Parsons did not say, yeah, Mike McCarthy needs to be fired.
No, but this line also, you want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did.
He wasn't exactly putting a ring in it.
Those are the kind of guys that I have so much sympathy for. I don't think he was trying to say the way it comes out in print. I really don't. I truly do not believe that was his overall goal.
That wasn't even the quote that really got me yesterday. Dallas game.
Okay.
It was when Jerry was asked about
I saw that.
The sun shining into the field of play causing CeeDee Lamb to not see a football thrown at him, like wide
So
open.
just shading.
And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And he didn't say it, CeeDee Lamb, but the reporter said he was speaking for me. And he said it without saying it. And Jerry, post game, says, by the way, we know where the sun is going to be when we decide to flip the coin or not. We do know where the damn sun is going to be in our own stadium. Why not put up curtains over the windows? Well, let's tear the damn stadium down and put another one up. Are you kidding me? Everybody has got the same thing. Every team that comes in here has the same issues. I'm saying the world knows where the sun is. You got to know that almost every year in advance. Someone asked me about the sun. What are we talking about? The sun? Where's the moon?
We're talking about the sun. We're not even talking about the moon.
Here's the thing, Jerry. You are way, way over your skis here as far as running a football team. Your time is up. You are kind of senile, and your team sucks. And oh, by the way, your freaking players can't see on the field. It's as clear as day.
Do you remember, this was the same deal. Remember the old place with the hole in the center, but it wasn't the full. It was the same thing. There'd be sun issues at the old place, and this is a common occurrence in this building for the last decade as well. Now, do both teams deal with it? Yeah, they absolutely deal. Could they do a better job with it? I'm sure they absolutely could.
You see what happened today at Mike McCarthy's press conference?
Yeah, they had a sunshade up for him.
In his press conference, in the room, the sun was glaring into Mike McCarthy's face.
They put a shade up.
They put a shade
like
up.
a specially designed shade
that's
to
nice.
ward off the sun from his podium.
That's next level trolling right there.
Dude, Jerry Jones should just send Jimmy Johnson like a check because
without him,
he did everything because Jerry gets all the credit for I'm the Cowboys owner and I'm always out in the media and I'm doing this and this and this. None of his moves have hit. Everything he's done has just been a miss.
Why do you say that? I'm kidding.
After Jimmy Johnson, so it's more like you didn't do anything. Jimmy Johnson was the reason you guys won those titles. Even the title you won under Switzer. Guess whose guys he won it with? He won it with Jimmy's guys.
Imagine being 3-6, not having Dak Prescott for the rest of the year because he's not playing the rest of the year. Not on this 3-6 team.
Exactly.
Having a lame duck head coach and coaching staff, and you still have 8. Like you don't have one game left.
8.
You have 8 games left, and you are going nowhere.
Well, this is the second time it's happened in like 10 years. Because remember, that's how Jason Garrett got fired. Was because Dak got hurt and they had to ride some bench guy for the rest of the year, and then that gave them their excuse to get rid of him.
You're 5 games back.
Jerry is so past his time. Like, it's over. You're
just sign the checks and let somebody else make the decision.
Exactly. Son, obviously.
As long as Jerry's running the day-to-day operations with that team as their general manager alongside being their owner, the Cowboys will never, ever win a Super Bowl.
As long as Jerry is running the team?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, it's over.
That's correct. Well, it's not going to be that much time. Now, his son's going to be running the team. So it's not leaving the family.
No.
And I don't know if it'll be better. I don't know if it will be.
Yeah, I don't
but
know.
It's going to be run by his family.
And for me personally, as much as I hate the Cowboys, I hope Jerry runs that team forever. Won't happen, but I hope he does.
Yeah, I mean, we're down to. I mean, it's not going to be that much longer, obviously, that he's running the team.
Yeah, the team. They're cooked. They're cooked. They have. I don't know what path they have to all of a sudden next year be a contender. They're paying Dak all this money. They're paying CeeDee Lamb all this money. The rest of their team, they have no talent. They got to get a new head coach.
Here's the thing. They've had regular season success, even under Mike McCarthy, and they do it with their offense. Now, that has not worked, obviously. Plus, they've had injuries in 2024. I'm with you. Who is the head coaching candidate that's going to be so hot that has to have the Cowboys job that's going to very quickly put them right back at 12-5 in the NFC East? That's an extreme stretch.
And if you think that the answer is Bill Belichick.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, that's not the long-term answer there. And I don't even think
not the short-term answer.
No.
Well, even that, that's another movie we've seen already with the Cowboys. Because we're going to bring Bill Parcells back. Remember how great he was everywhere else but Dallas? And it didn't work out. So I think it would be the same thing.
The Giants and Cowboys this offseason will be both looking for new head coaches. That's kind of wild.
Yeah, I mean, as bad as the Cowboys have been this year, the Cowboys have nothing compared to where the Giants have been for the last 7 years. I mean, as bad as the Cowboys are right now, the Giants have been a terribly run organization for year on year since drafting Saquon Barkley, second overall. They've been among the worst teams in the NFL.
If you're the Cowboys, if you're the Giants and you're a Giants fan, talking to you, Thor, he already knows this. You are rooting for them to lose every single game from here on
But that's
out.
all they do every year.
I know. But last year, they won a couple games at the end, and it prevented them from getting in the sweepstakes for Caleb.
Right.
And Jaden Daniels or Drake May.
They really missed out on Caleb.
Well, you get my point. They ended up winning some games at the end that dropped them down to, I think, 8th in the draft, and they got Malik Neighbors when they didn't need a wide receiver, and they missed out on Jaden, and they missed out on Drake May.
Just listen to this. 2017 on. These are giant win totals in this season. 3,
Post Kaufman.
3, 5, 4, 6, 4, 9. Lost divisional round. 6 and 2. They've been one of the worst franchises in the NFL for 8 consecutive years. On the other side, we'll get you ready for Monday Night Football between the Rams and the Dolphins, the latest on the Roki Sasaki sweepstakes. We'll tell you more about our great giveaway this week as well on Jon and Jim. Stay with us.
All right, this update is brought to you by Progressive. Monday Night Football, moments away from kickoff in LA, Rams and Dolphins. You can hear that game starting at 5:15 right here on San Diego Sports 760. Mike Schilt was named a finalist for National League Manager of the Year today. Jackson Merrill was named a finalist for the NL Rookie of the Year award. And tomorrow night, San Diego State takes on Occidental. 7 p.m. tip-off, 6 p.m. pregame right here on San Diego Sports 760. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
All right, short show today. Rams, Dolphins from Los Angeles coming up in 12 minutes right here on San Diego Sports 760. We're talking about Roki Sasaki, who will be posted this winter and it will make his way to the major leagues for 2025. Is San Diego a possible destination or not? Also, this week only, your chance to win a 1.5 carat lab-grown diamond for a lucky 760 listener, courtesy of one of our Warrior Foundation Freedom Station sponsors, Unicorn Jewelry and Watch Boutique. To qualify, open the iHeartRadio app right now, search for San Diego Sports 760, click on that little talkback mic, tell us why you want to win. Every day this week, we'll qualify someone during the midday matchup, Big Rich, TD, and Fletch, and right here on Jon and Jim. That's 3 chances to qualify each day this week. Then listen a week from today, right here on Jon and Jim, and someone's winning a lab-grown diamond that would make a perfect center stone on an engagement ring, necklace, bracelet, again, courtesy of Unicorn Jewelry and Watch Boutique. So let's be clear. You can win a 1.5 carat diamond. All you have to do right now is open the iHeartRadio app, search for San Diego Sports 760, click on that microphone, tell us why you should win. And you may win, and you're going to know a week from today if you did win. How about that, Jim?
This is a fantastic giveaway.
Is this our best giveaway ever? Seriously, in terms of value of prize, it has to be.
Oh, easily.
Has to be. Easily.
Has to be. Now we're giving away San Diego State Gonzaga tickets for next week,
which is also an amazing giveaway. We're giving those away later this week, right?
Correct. But
that's not a diamond.
This is a freaking diamond, dude. We're giving away a diamond, bro. A diamond. If you're out there,
seeking a diamond,
for an engagement ring, or you plan on proposing during the holidays,
or what if you just want a diamond,
or if you're a woman and you just want a diamond for a necklace or a ring that's not an engagement ring,
right?
This is the prize to get. What?
I was just wondering who. Okay, no biggie.
Okay, don't freak me out like that.
Okay, I was just wondering what was happening, but we're all good. Okay, so again, open up the app, search for San Diego Sports 760, tap that little red microphone icon, tell us why you should win that 1.5 carat diamond from
not Karen
or Karen. The 1.5
constantly
carat
ask to see the manager.
diamond from Unicorn Jewelry and Watch Boutique. So we've spent a good portion of today's show talking about Roki Sasaki. He is the #1 pitching prospect in the world. He's been pitching professionally in Japan for the last 4 years. His numbers are gaudy. Career 2 ERA. He will be posted by his club. He'll make his way from Japan to the major leagues this winter and be pitching in the major leagues in 2025. And we say, why not San Diego? We both believe that the Padres should put a lot of effort into landing Roki Sasaki. He will be, quote unquote, affordable because there's limitations in terms of what he can make in the major leagues his first 6 years in the majors. Padres have been in on these sweepstakes. Ohtani, Seiya Suzuki, and others. They haven't landed these prize prospects previously. Is this time around, Jim, going to be any different for the Padres this offseason?
And by the way, spoiler alert. Spoiler
and
alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert and spoiler alert. This will not be the last time we talk about Roki Sasaki this offseason.
No, we will talk about him every day.
Every single day until he is signed or posted or whatever. This to me feels like the top priority. And it might not be. I don't know. It might not be. I'm not privy to AJ Preller's priority list. But for me, and knowing that the connection is there and the infatuation is there from Preller, and Preller mentioning Roki Sasaki, out of the blue at Peter Seiler's memorial at Petco Park. Roki Sasaki, the connection between him and Darvish being a mentor for him. It all lines up, and it lines up for the Padres to go out and get a potential star player at a cost that you can only dream of getting a star player at, which is under $10 million potentially.
Yeah, you're talking about $7 or so million to land a player that might be comparable to Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who just signed for $325 million. And you say, well, hold on.
Yeah,
how can I get a
pause.
$325 million player for $7 million? Because there are posting rules. 25-year-olds are free agents to sign with any major league team, no restrictions.
Yep.
And that's how Yamamoto got $325. However, Sasaki's 23. He's following the Ohtani route. And you say, well, why would you come over under 25 if you can only get $7 or $8 million? Well, it worked out for Ohtani. And everyone's got different, needs and desires and hopes and dreams, and there's marketing elements to it. He's pitched 4 years in Japan, and he's had a high level of success. He's ready for the major leagues. They wouldn't post him a year ago, his club. A year later, they're willing to post him. So he can't get to $300 million. That's still a lot of money. I mean, if you or I got $7 or $8 million this offseason, we would take it.
Yeah.
But it ain't $300 million. But the point is, for a team that is as cash strapped as the San Diego Padres, and they are, no matter what they say they are, this is the perfect scenario if you can somehow land them.
And Kyle Glazer, who was on with us earlier today, talked about his stuff, his repertoire. Dude can throw 100. He has a devastating split. He's built, 6'3", 200 plus. Like, he ain't some scrawny. Yamamoto. I'm not kind of crap on Yamamoto, but he's bigger than Yamamoto. Yamamoto's
is he?
Under 6 feet. This guy's 6'3". He's stocky. You look at his numbers in the Nippon Professional Baseball League, they're gaudy.
Yeah, they're elite.
It like 400 plus innings. He's only given up 200 something hits.
16 career home runs in 400 something innings. That's crazy.
Or almost 600 strikeouts in 400 plus innings.
Kyle Glazer said he's comparable to Ohtani on the mound when Ohtani came over. That's incredible stuff. Ohtani's numbers in the big leagues as a pitcher, and of course he's done it as well while hitting, have been really, really good.
And, he's not going to be hitting, so he's just going to be able to focus on pitching all the time.
Absolutely.
You might have to kind of finesse things here and make sure that he doesn't get too tired, and
he hasn't thrown a lot of innings.
His workload would be a question. Like, I'd be surprised next year for whatever team he's pitching for, he goes over 120 innings. Like, you're going to have to make sure you keep him.
I was going to say 150. He threw 129 last year.
Okay.
Is that right? I think. Or he has thrown as many as 129. Was that last year? I'll look that up. But no, your point's valid. He's not going to throw 200 innings or anywhere near it. Last year, he threw just 111 innings. So you're right. I mean, anything beyond like 130, 140 is probably a reach.
Yeah, but at least he has crossed the 100 inning threshold twice in his career. And
true.
I just look at this as not the missing piece, because they still have a lot of work to do.
Sure.
Left field, shortstop, first base, catcher, right?
Yeah.
But for your rotation to slot him in there with a starting rotation of Michael King, Dylan Cease, Yu Darvish, and Roki Sasaki.
Give me the good version of all four of those pitchers. I'll take my chances if I can get into the postseason.
Yep.
Like him, I don't need the perfect I don't need Dylan Cease second in Cy Young or Darvish second in Cy Young, but you give me the really good version of those four pitchers in the postseason, something they didn't have this year because they didn't have Joe Musgrove off that Atlanta start. They didn't have him against the Dodgers, and that's looking way ahead to have those four pitchers healthy or on the same team in 2025. But I'm just saying, give me those pitchers healthy. I'll take my chances.
And you have Randy Vasquez, Johnny Brito, Matt Waldron. You're
Oh, then
Going-
you're fine
you're
with your
go-
fifth spot.
You're going to go out and get at least one more pitcher.
Yeah, sure.
If you landed Roki Sasaki.
Yeah, take a flyer on someone.
Or go out and make a trade.
Right.
You can make a you can make a trade, and more pitching the better. Like we saw what happened last year. The Dodgers barely made it to the postseason. It's just because their lineup was elite. Their bullpen became elite in the postseason. But the more starting pitching, the better. And you can never have enough. So even if you landed Roki Sasaki, still go out and get more pieces. Find a trade partner. Go and find a lower end starting pitcher that you feel like you can rebuild because Ruben Niebla is returning. Like starting pitching is the number one priority for this team in the offseason, in my opinion. And Roki Sasaki, if you landed him, oh my goodness, sign me all the way F up.
I mean, it would really be, because we've also talked about how do you bridge your roster even to 2026? All we're going to care about all offseason is 2025. But if AJ Preller, like his job is to also have one eye on the future, this helps you build your rotation for 2026 and beyond. We don't even know about Michael King. Joe Musgrove hopefully will be fully healthy by the start of 2026. Yu Darvish will be older. You start thinking about the future of your rotation. 2025 would be awesome if you had Roki Sasaki, but now you're accounting for 2026 and beyond. So listen, from a Padre perspective, it makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense for Roki Sasaki. I don't know what his desires are. I don't know if it's the perfect fit or not, but there are reasons to believe, and we read some stuff from Kylie McDaniel last night on the wrap-up show, he may prefer the smaller market.
Maybe.
He may prefer to be off the beaten path. He wants to win. Padres have proven they can. They've won at a good level, not the highest level, but they've won at a good level here over the last 3 years. So does it check enough boxes for him to be won over by the Padres?
Well, Preller's going to make the full court press on Sasaki. That's just what I feel.
I agree.
Not knowing anything, just reading the tea leaves and reading what I have. AJ Preller is going to go hard after Roki Sasaki. Can he land him? Can he make a better pitch than the Dodgers? Can he make a better pitch than whoever else is out there? The Giants, the Red Sox, the Mets, the Cubs. This is where he's going to have to really sell this team. And I think it won't be too hard because the core is there ready to win right now. And you're not asking Roki Sasaki from day one to be the number one ace in the rotation. You have King, you have Cease, you have Darvish. And the biggest whole thing to sign him. And hopefully it happens.
Oh, where does the time go? Oh, that's right. We have Monday Night Football tonight. So a short version of Jon and Jim because Rams and Dolphins kick off momentarily from Los Angeles. We're back tomorrow at 3 p.m. outside the House. We're going to get ready for San Diego State men's basketball. More discussion about Roki Sasaki's future as well. For Brent and Jim, I'm John. Monday Night Football is next right here at San Diego Sports 760. Okay, bye.